So today on Transformer Tuesday, we are going to cover everything that's going to be going on in 2024 with the Studio Series line. We have release dates, we have how the waves are going to be rolled out, as well as a brand new price point in the Level A category, which we're going to get into later on today. So let's jump into it. There's a lot to cover. Some of this stuff we've covered in the past, but we didn't know release dates and where this all fit in the grand picture of things. I delayed this over the past couple of days because I wanted to get more information and make sure everything was lined up properly. And here is what we have here today. So let's jump into it here on the Transformer Slag podcast. So starting with Wave 1 of Studio Series, we have it hitting in February of 2024. And we start with a core class, Movie 5, which is, again, when you see the MVs with a number represent one of the movies. MV1 is obviously going to be the original 2007 movie. MV2 is going to be Revenge of the Fallen. MV3 will be Dark of the Moon. MV4 will be Age of Extinction. MV5 will be The Last Night. MV6 will be Bumblebee movie, although has been rumored in the past as 86, but it's actually the Bumblebee movie. MV7 will be, of course, our Rise of the Beast stuff. And MV8, well, we'll get into that in a moment. So we'll start here. MV5, Mohawk. So The Last Night Mohawk, again, a character long overdue to get a figure. For the longest time, we had to use like standalone Scout class figures from Revenge of the Fallen to be kind of your stand-in figure for Mohawk, but he's finally getting a proper toy. Long overdue, in my opinion. Very unique design with the Mohawk head and motorcycle. What could he be repainted into afterwards? Well, maybe they'll work some magic or something in the future and maybe make him a Junkion or something in some kind of repaint. But at least we're finally getting him in a core class, even though he was short-lived. MV6 Rumble. Here's where we get to the thing where some people thought this was an 86 thing. Now, there was a Movieverse Rumble in the IDW comics. Those things are kind of not canon. There was many different versions, so we're going to put that aside. This is obviously not the Rumble Blue that we already got in Studio Series 86 with the core class. This is something where they're building up more the idea of that opening scene in the Bumblebee movie, where it's something where, okay, we had these robot modes, and then Hasbro had to make up the alt modes pretty much. So now they're kind of going the extra layer where it's like, well, what if Rumble was there? What if some other characters were there? How would they look? So we're kind of going into that space too. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Maybe I'm missing something here, but this is going to come up quite a few times today in our little discussion because, again, a lot of people thought MV6 was just another way to put Studio Series 86. But when we see Studio Series 86, it comes up as 86, which we will get into. Let's get into the Deluxe class. Deluxe class MV7, which is Rise of the Beast. Wheejack, so he's going to get a proper Studio Series version. So if you're not happy with the mainline one or anything like that, there will be a Studio Series version of our Spectacle Wheejack figure. We got an MV7 Scorponok. Mark and Evan talked about this. They wanted to do Scorponok proper, not just the ones that were done through Target and everything for Rise of the Beast. So here we are here. The Rise of the Beast Scorpion character, Scorponok. Probably going to have a proper color scheme and everything, so you can make them get busted up by your Optimus Primal Leader class. We got a Voyager 86 Scrap Heap. Now, we got Junkyard, which they had to call Junk Heap due to trademark reasons. But we never got Scrap Heap. And that's kind of where Junkyard got his heap part, because it was like Junkyard, and they're like, oh, we'll call him Junk Heap because there was a Scrap Heap character. And now we're going to get Scrap Heap. Scrap Heap had the Generations flavor treatment during that Deluxe class era where Wreck-Gar and Junkyard and Scrap Heap all got, those kind of stuff. And now we're going to get Scrap Heap is going to be getting the Studio Series treatment in Voyager class. So growing that Junkion army to join the other two. So that's fantastic. It's pretty clear this is probably just going to be yet another retool of the Wreck-Gar and the the Junk Heap that we've got in Junkyard. This is very confusing with the names. But yeah, so probably an extensive retool of that. So that's pretty cool. Now the trio will be complete. Voyager class War for Cybertron Starscream, again continuing the High Moon video game gamer edition stuff. So now we're going to be getting our Seeker soon. We all know where this is going. We're going to see all the Seekers afterwards. Starscream is the least of it. Then there's going to be obviously Thundercracker, Skywarp. Who knows where they might even want to go and have some fun with some characters that didn't appear in it. Heck, when you really think about it, even Slipstream was part of the War for Cybertron stuff, so you could even maybe make a retool out of that one into her also. We will see. Here's one that's very interesting. Leader class MV6 Megatron, aka Bumblebee movie Megatron. We talked about this before. Megatron was supposed to be in the movie in some shape or form. Different companies like Trumpeter, who was going to do the model kits and all kinds of stuff, had designs that suggested that we were going to be getting a Megatron, showed some scale images. We saw a tiny turbo changer Bumblebee movie Megatron figure, which was a tank, which showed a design too. So we do know that he was going to be in the movie because there was merchandising and some stuff revealed, some stuff released, some stuff not. So I guess much like the Rumble, we're going to finally get it. And we'll finally see how that looks. The Megatron toy that was being put out there for the Rise of the Beast stuff was supposedly also based off of the early Bumblebee movie stuff. So we'll see what happens with that. It's going to be a leader class. It's going to be a big figure. It's hard to say where they're going to go with it, but it's definitely not, a Studio Series 86 leader class Megatron. Don't get your hopes up with that. Wave 2, April 2024. Now we're diving into it. Now, like I've said with the previous segment, when you see less additions, like, oh, how come the first wave has 2 core classes and this one only has 1? When there's usually something missing, it's probably because there's going to be a filler. Something from wave 1 will be stuck into wave 2 to fill it out. Maybe the Mohawk will bleed into wave 2 also. We don't know. Sometimes it's figures that have not been revealed yet, but wave 2 still pretty early, so it's hard to say. But here we got core class MV6 Starscream. So now we have a Starscream that was a Voyager class from the opening scene of the Bumblebee movie. Now they want to make a more small version, which again, like I said before, when you open it up to Seekers, you could repaint the hell out of them. So we're gonna get you could get a tiny version of your opening Bumblebee movie Starscream, and then they'll probably do all the repaints from it afterwards, maybe even Blitzwing, who knows, but it's gonna get pretty crazy, that one. Deluxe class War for Cybertron Sideswipe, again, more gamer edition stuff, deluxe class. He already had one in the past, and now he's gonna get a much more screen accurate one probably. He kind of also shared tooling a little bit with Jazz, so I'm pretty sure that might open it up to also Jazz getting a brand new one. Pretty excited about that. All the gamer edition stuff has been pretty great. Deluxe class MV6, so again, opening of the Bumblebee movie. Sunstreaker, again, if this was Studio Series 86, I guess it would make sense, even though Sunstreaker was in the movie for about half a second, but then again, so was Snarl, and he got an 86 toy. So, but this is supposedly the opening of the Bumblebee movie. There was no Sunstreaker there, at least not to my knowledge, looking at it even through a fine-tooth comb, going through every frame of animation, but they'll probably make something up, and it'll probably work out in the end, I guess. But, I mean, hey, if you're a big fan of Sunstreaker, you're going to get his movie-verse debut in a lot of ways. So that's pretty cool. Studio Series Deluxe Class 86. This is a package refresh, just putting it out again to fill out the wave for people who are not able to get it. You might feel, oh, isn't that a little recent? Well, by the time we get to April 2024, it'll be so distant from there that maybe you could kind of justify getting people another opportunity to pick up that Sharkticon. So sure, why not? Getting into the Voyager classes, Voyager class MV6 Shockwave. He was in the opening of the Bumblebee movie, so he should be getting a toy, so we're going to be getting that. We already had the little tiny version that we got with core class. Now we're getting a full version, so that's pretty cool. Leader class 86 Swoop. This was the long-awaited one, the rumored one. People are saying that because Swoop is significantly smaller than the other Dinobots, this might justify he's going to be something that's a smaller leader class, but he'll come with all the weapons of the Dinobots, like the swords that are missing. That's one rumor that people are saying. Another saying, hey, if they put it in, vehicle mode, or in this case, Dino mode, and you spread out those wings, you could justify the length of the box. do that Beast Machine style where they did that with Beast Machine's Megatron, where it was clearly a deluxe class figure, but they put it in a mega box when they opened up the wings and stuff and kind of got away with it. We'll see what happens with that, but at least we'll be finally be completing our core Dinobots of the leader class assortment for Studio Series. Now let's just hope maybe they reissue Grimlock and give people another chance with those prices. Ooh. Wave 3, August 2024. Not a lot of stuff here, probably a lot of filler happening, but we got a Core Class 86 Steeljaw. Originally, this listing, when we talked about it, it didn't have the 86 part attached to it, so the assumption was that this probably was maybe Age of Extinction Dinobot, Steeljaw, which was a character in Age of Extinction, part of Lockdown's crew and stuff. Did have toys in the past, did have the trademarks, but this is a Core Class 86 Steeljaw based off of the tape cassette character. A new addition to add to your blaster that is now out there. So, hey, that's fantastic. That's great. More of that, s'il vous plaît. Deluxe Class War for Cybertron Decepticon Infantry. More Gamer Edition stuff. This is the grunts that you pretty much were dealing with a majority of the game when you were fighting on the Autobot campaign, so they're going to make some grunts. I imagine, this is just, a guess, probably a retool of the Barricade. That's what I'm thinking. They'll probably just take the Barricade and retool it a little bit, unless it's a brand new tooling and it's the more heavy grunt, which would be cool too. But we will see. But if they're taking the easy route, that might be what might happen. Voyager class MV6 Shockwave, we just talked about, Starscream and getting his opening movie figure. We've seen some of the other characters, and now it's time. We have to get his repaint. No surprise there. Sure, why not? Getting into December 2024, Wave 4. This is where we get some weird stuff. Core Class MV6 Frenzy, just like how we talked about, hey, there's a Rumble that was in the beginning of the Bumblebee movie. Well, hey, was Frenzy in the beginning of the Bumblebee movie? Is it the same Frenzy, like the Frenzy that was inside Barricade from 2007? Or are we talking a Frenzy that's based more off of his cartoon counterpart, because these newer movies are leaning more on the cartoon counterparts? I mean, it's when we're talking continuity with these Michael Bay movies going into the Travis Knight, and then of course, getting into the Rise of the Beast stuff, it's all over the place. Who knows at this point, really? Then we get this one here. This one's weird. Deluxe Class HM Megatron. Now, what is that HM? Could that be High Moon? But wouldn't that be War for Cybertron? We already have one, and it's a Voyager class, so it's definitely not that. And of course, if it was High Moon, it would be War for Cybertron. It would be WFC. Is it Headmasters? There never really was a Headmaster Megatron. Is it Heavy Metal, the cell phone game that got discontinued? So I don't know what this is, but it's a deluxe class, which is tiny for a Megatron. Megatrons have traditionally been Voyagers or above. If they're a core class, it's primarily because they're a tiny version. When it's a deluxe class, I don't know. Very weird. You tell me, because I don't know. And that's in December 2024 for Wave 4. Super far away. So who knows what that is. Then we got a deluxe class Next Gen Bumblebee. That's literally what it's called, Next Gen Bumblebee. Is it taking a previously existing Bumblebee mold and giving it a chrome repaint so it's a G2 homage? Is it, something else? Is it Goldbug? Wouldn't it be called Goldbug? Didn't we already get a Goldbug toy through Buzzworthy? So again, very vague one there too. Could be same thing with the HM Megatron with the Next Gen Bumblebee. Could be a 40th anniversary item that we're just not kind of seeing right now. But then there's something else later on, which also might tie with the 40th anniversary stuff. So we'll get into that in a moment. Voyager class War for Cybertron Ratchet. So right away there, you get WFC. So if it's a High Moon video game gamer edition thing, it's going to have that in front of it. So we're going to be getting Ratchet, which means we're going to get, obviously, an Ironhide at some point. That's fantastic. And then a Leader Class 86 Springer. We already talked about getting Sandstorm on the other side of things with Legacy. We're going to get Springer here in a Leader Class. So we're going to get Sandstorm on one side, Springer here for the other. All we're missing is Broadside, who, I don't know, me personally would be cool as a Commander or even that of a Titan class. And then if you make him a Commander class, then you could kind of retool it into a Tidal Wave afterwards. Whichever one you choose to pick, Commander or Titan. but still pretty cool. Very excited about that. Great that Springer's getting a brand new toy, and he's going to be really well done. And then we have the last one here. This is an assortment that's going to be coming out in June of 2024. So technically it'll be coming out between Wave 2 and Wave 3. Again, June 2024, called Level A. Now, this Level A assortment has already existed before. This was something that was being used with Marvel Legends. Marvel Legends, which is also a Hasbro line, would use this Level A price point to kind of use with retailers to go, hey, these are our Level A characters, our A-list characters, Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man. They would use that for a separate price point for specific items. And I guess Transformers is getting this treatment too for the 40th anniversary. So it's being applied to Transformers. It's similar to, for years they would use this with licensors. You've heard me use this term many times before, an internal Hasbro term called the Legendary 7, which has been used for almost 2 decades now. Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Grimlock, Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, Devastator. Legendary 7, the most iconic 7 characters used across licensing, trademark protection, everything like that. So no surprise here. We have 2 Level A characters for this assortment for June 2024. Level A MV8 Op, which MV8 would imply the 8th movie after Rise of the Beast, which MV8, would that be Transformers 1? Would we already be in Transformer 1 territory of product when we get to that point? You know, June 2024, are we in that trailer hype season for Transformers 1 and its product? The Op being Optimus Prime or Orion Pax, let's say, because it's a prehistory story. Very hard to say. We don't even know the size, the price, or anything like that. Just an assortment for a MV8 Op. You tell me, but that's what it sounds like to me. And then a Level A assortment 86 Bumblebee. I guess they're going to finally take that Bumblebee mold that we got all the way back with the Netflix Bumblebee and finally giving people a mainstream opportunity to pick it up, celebrating the 40th anniversary of Transformers, probably with the better colors, in my opinion. Right here, right then. So that's fantastic too. Great stuff here. Let me know what you think, guys. We have a lot here that we covered. I hope you learned something from all of this. I'm sorry that I kind of delayed it, but I really wanted to, again, get all the information proper and not just rush out with it. You know, people always try to rush out and be the first to do news, but I really want to go over things properly before we talk about it so that all the information is correct. So that's everything that's happened there. We got a brand new price point, a whole bunch of new toys. Let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast. Hope you learned something today, and I'll see you later.